This is the win percentage of every team in the IPL by year. Thus, it is the story of the tournament so far. For instance, this tiny little triangle up here is Kochi. They played one season. That was it. We never saw them again after they failed to provide a bank guarantee. For those of us who only know geography through cricket, Kochi basically ceased to exist at this moment. And that is what a graph like this shows us. The history, often forgotten or ignored, of the IPL. And so that leads me to one of the greatest questions in the IPL. How many titles have the Sunrisers Hyderabad won? Because we know that the actual team has won a single championship. But what do we do with the Deccan Chargers title in 2009? Because this is not the same franchise, right? Obviously, they have two different ownership groups and two different names. But the second ownership group did actually take the squad and the location directly from the original owners. All they really did was update the name, colors, and logo. And many fans from Hyderabad count both of these titles. But the Sunrisers only show one star around their logo. When it comes to the history of the IPL, the young ones will never know why go was so important to the early part of the IPL, with a franchise that changed hands and got a fresh paint job and either is or isn't part of the actual Sunrisers dynasty. The point being here that a lot has happened in the IPL in a very short space of time. If you need a VPN, go Nord. Use nordvpn.com/Kimber to get a 2-year contract with a discount, plus 4 extra months, plus gifts in some markets. It's completely risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. The link is in the show notes. Protect your computer like a blocker protects the stumps with NordVPN today. Let us start with the bottom, because that is the Rajasthan Royals, the platonic friend zone team that started as a title winner and then went mid for years. And just when they seemed to be doing better, that is when they were suspended for fixing reasons. And when they came back, they were mid again. And you could see from that fixing thing, the entire map sags down. And that period is where we get two new teams, the rising Pune Supergiants and the Gujarat Lions. They just turned up like they were substitute teachers. It didn't matter how well they did, because no one was actually listening at all. It also confirmed that Pune is the most cursed IPL city, because this was the second time that a team had turned up there. The first occasion they had 3 seasons, and they won about that many games as well. The second time they were doing better, but then they finished completely. The SAG, or the saga of fixing, is just another incredible part of the IPL history, because 2 of the original teams who had won 3 out of the first 8 titles were suspended for fixing in this very league. And think about it this way, Chennai has 5 titles, and yet for 2 years they weren't actually playing, which is no less amazing or stupid when you really think about what that all means. And what else can we see? Let's go back to 2021, where the Sunrisers were terrible. Up until that point, that was a team that most of us saw as a consistent threat ripping up everything. That year, Rashid Khan was their star, World Cup winner Trevor Bayliss was their coach, and David Warner was their captain. The next year, it was Kane Williamson and Tom Moody as captain and coach, and Rashid Khan was gone. And Tom Moody and Kane Williamson have been involved before as well. Then Aidan Markram and Brian Lara took over, and now it's Dan Vettori with Pat Cummins. And I point all of this out to show how fat their win percentage used to be until they started screwing with their plans every single year. 2021 is interesting on here because you also have Delhi's best season where they won 71% of their matches. They also did something similar in 2009. This means that twice in their history they have huge winning seasons, but no trophy. Kolkata and Chennai have never won that many games in the regular season, and they have 7 cups combined. But it isn't just those 2 years. Look at this big fat bit from 2019 and 2021. That is an awful lot of winning to, again, not actually end up with a trophy. You can also see from their first 5 seasons that they have more than just the 2009 year as a good one. They have grouped wins together over seasons, put in great runs, but they have won not a single trophy for all of that hard work. The team underneath is RCB, and you can see that they have not had great periods like that at all. They have had two 64% winning seasons, though again, one of those was in 2021. Perhaps the season they should have won it all, though, was 2011, when they went 9-4. But overall, they are a sub 50% team in the competition. But they do still have a higher success rate overall than Delhi. What might grate more with those teams is that other sides have won the trophy with, let's be honest, fairly ordinary results. Both Mumbai and Sunrisers won back-to-back in 2015 and 2016 with 57% win seasons, going 8-6. And that is nothing compared to Chennai stealing their first trophy with a 50% win record. And that was back in the days when getting the top two spots didn't help as much. But even then, Chennai was third with a 50% record due to the incredible clump of mediocre teams with a similar record. But other than their incredible ability to win trophies, you can see how consistent Chennai have been all the way through. Compare that to Mumbai, who have the same amount of trophies and a similar overall win percentage, but do not have as consistent a colour streak all the way through this map. If you go a little bit higher, you can see Kolkata, another team with multiple trophies, and again, not the kind of wins that Chennai have. In fact, they are only at 51% wins throughout the entire history of the tournament. And even the years where they won, they never had that kind of fat band that Delhi had a few years back. They now look a little bit more like Rajasthan, a mid-team with some early success. And they really haven't been a repeat contender for quite some time now. In the last 5 years, they haven't been above 50% in any season. But the more you look at this, the more you see strange things. And I don't just mean the Gujarat Lions, who I had forgotten actually existed. But the best two teams in the last couple of years have been the newcomers. That is quite something, especially seeing as that we can see other sides like the Punes, Gujarat Lions and Kochi didn't do anything like that. Perhaps this suggests that they were better organised franchises, or it could just be a little bit of luck. But it is still incredible for the Gujarat Titans to win a title in year one. Expansion teams are usually quite rubbish, but two of my favourites on this graph are in the middle. Let's start with the Punjab Kings, or Kings 11 Punjab. They have a pretty dire record. 44% wins throughout the entire tournament. Only Delhi of the current sides have been worse. But unlike their daredevil capital friends, they have had incredible years. If you're looking for something that breaks hearts, it is this year, 2014 Punjab. They won 78% of their games and they got no cup. And they haven't really been close ever since. That's a decade ago. And right on top of them here is the Mumbai Indians, a team with 5 titles in 8 years. Remember when people suggested that the mega auction would make the league more even? Them and Chennai sort of suggest otherwise, because the other 13 IPL teams combined have 6 titles, and the 2 main ones have 10. And it seems an awfully long time now since the start of the IPL when Mumbai were the punchline because they couldn't win anything. They were essentially the RCB of that early period, except for the fact that RCB were also the RCB of that period. And there are people who look back at the early IPL and don't even consider it as that important, like the IPL's version of playing against plumbers and bus drivers. But the thing is that every story needs to start somewhere. A lot of people complain that I'm not a former cricketer, and so that I don't really know the game. Well, you know what they can't claim? That I don't know desks. I've been using desks for years. I'm a collector of desks, old and new, and I'm sitting on a new one right now. I'm the Don Bradman of sitting at desks. So when I tell you that the E7 Pro next generation height adjustable desk from FlexiSpot is legit, this is like Michael Jordan talking to you about sneakers. This desk holds 160 kilograms. It is as stable as anything I've ever seen, and it has under-desk cable management. But really, the main skill here is that this desk rises and falls at the push of a button, and it moves super quick. And it has so many settings that remember your favorite heights. It really does it all. And I could not recommend the E7 Pro from FlexiSpot anymore, even though I am currently sitting on one of FlexiSpot's BS12 Pro multifunctional, adjustable, upgraded fabric, ergonomic chairs. My butt and computer have never been happier than when using one of FlexiSpot's products. So get over to their page right now for big savings.